Welcome to our fifth Peace Sunday. Last time I preached on a Peace Sunday back in January was Epiphany, a holy day on the church calendar. Today is Transfiguration Sunday, another holy day. It's not what I guess we call a holiday in the sense that I am not aware of any Transfiguration greeting cards or decorations being up, and we don't get tomorrow off. But you know what? In Eastern Orthodox, Roman Catholic, and Anglican churches, there is a big deal made about it. They have a Transfiguration feast. It's in August, and there is much ado. People bring the first fruits of the harvest to celebrate and bless, and of course partake in gratitude and fellowship. And there's good reason to have it in the harvest season, because as we heard, the Transfiguration story has references to dwellings, booths being built. This implies the Jewish festival of the booths may have been when the story was supposed to have taken place. The festival of booths is a holiday that blesses and celebrates the harvest in gratitude, with tents, booths set out in the fields and symbolically in buildings for the commemoration. In mainline Protestant tradition, however, we have Transfiguration on this Sunday, the one at the end of the season of Epiphany. Basically, the Epiphany has traditionally had for Protestants bookends to the season, two Epiphany Sunday holidays and stories. See, the Transfiguration story is considered an epiphany on its own, where Jesus' divine nature is affirmed and encountered by humans. And in the first Epiphany story, the Magi encounter it following the illumination of a heavenly star to God incarnate in the baby Jesus, but in the Transfiguration story, the disciples encounter it following the illumination of the heavenly adult Jesus to God incarnate. And I love that today we're having two meals on this Transfiguration and Peace Sunday. We have communion, partaking of the Lord's Supper in this service, and then at noon we're having an intergenerational shared meal. And that's not counting our snack following fellowship in between. Lots of feasting today. As I mentioned, feasting fits with the older Transfiguration practices. And our feast today will include spiritual practices and discussions about the spiritual nature of breaking bread together. And our interfaith friendly conversations later in adult format at lunch may not include specifics on the Christian tradition of the Transfiguration, but obviously I am delving into it. And the sermon, of course, will once again be about love. And the reason that I constantly preach about love is because Jesus did. Because love is God incarnate. And Jesus' primary directive is to love God and your neighbor as yourself. Jesus tells us there's no greater command than that. It cannot be overruled by anything, which means it overrules everything. There are, in Jesus' directive to love, three categories of beings involved: God, others, and self. And our job is to love all three. Love God, love others, love self. And the hardest category for most humans is to love others. We tend to condition love for others to basically those that we want to love. And Jesus made it clear we are to love everyone, even those we do not want to. And that's not to say that this love others thing means we're supposed to like everyone. What we have to do is love them. We have to want everybody's healthy existence, what I usually refer to as desire their well-being. And we're supposed to act on others' healthy existence as best we can, like and dislike. We're not supposed to condition that. And I have preached before that God tells us in the Transfiguration story to listen to Jesus, emphasizing listening to his love messages in general. I do not, however, recall uplifting specifically first words that Jesus utters after God's directive in Luke's Transfiguration reading that we heard this morning. Those words, as Pastor Anna read, are surprisingly words in anger and exasperation and frankly dislike in that moment. And clearly in that moment, Jesus still loves those he is displeased with. He heals the sick that day. He stays with his followers. He cares for them. He goes on with his life of teaching love, and later with his sacrifices of life for love of them, of us, of everyone, whether they or we are likable or not. After Jesus came off the mountain, the first words in Luke that we're meant to listen to were in response to a statement by a father with a son bedeviled by a spirit. The father tells Jesus, "I begged your disciples to cast it out, but they could not." And Jesus answered, "You faithless and perverse generation, how much longer must I be with you and bear with you?" And the lectionary makes that part of the story optional. And I think we can see why. It's hard to hear, let alone listen to. It may be one of the hardest things to listen to, which made me balk at preaching it today. Those verses also, if you think about it, have the best news ever. Because it means that in any given moment, whether Christ has reason to be angry at us or to dislike us, we are still holy and completely loved. We matter much, always. And following Jesus means we're trying to understand that, and most importantly, that we try and be like Jesus and love even when we are angry or we do not like someone. Christianity is all about love everywhere, all the time, even to the faithless and perverse. And truth be told, we can and are at times faithless in the inconstant sense of the word. And we are at times perverse in the obstinate sense of the word. When we are inconstant and obstinate, we are not very likable. We don't like to think of Jesus as not liking his followers, let alone as angry, even if the followers mess up and are obstinate about it. We want Jesus to be lovey-dovey and peaceful all the time, at least toward his followers. The gospel evidence Jesus gets angry and is still loving, gets angry and is still peaceful. It demonstrates that we can do that too and are supposed to. Anger includes strong feelings of annoyance and displeasure. And this week I have to admit that I have been angry at the news of our LGBTQ brothers and sisters enduring another round of very public and painful discussions as another denomination voted against treating LGBTQ as equals in church. The pain and the discrimination against LGBTQ in churches has long displeased me, and I believe that it displeases God and violates Jesus' command to love others. There's no sin in being LGBTQ. The sin lies in the continued oppression of the LGBTQ for their undeniable, goodly creation by God. The love of God and the way of Jesus should never be used as an excuse for such pain and discrimination. Indeed, God's love and Jesus' way call us to alleviate that pain and end that discrimination by actively and relentlessly aiming toward equality for everyone. In my anger, I still desire the sinfully discriminating churches and members' well-being. Indeed, desiring their equal treatment of all members is a manifestation of that desire. It leads to their health as well as the health of LGBTQ and the church in general and all of the rest of us. Just because we have bouts of non-violent anger or dislike involving others, we can still love them, desire their well-being. In fact, we are commanded And it works both ways. Just because someone has a bout of nonviolent anger or dislike for us does not mean they cannot love us, desire our well-being. In fact, they are also commanded to. Violent anger may not seem befitting of the Prince of Peace or the usual gentle as a lamb Jesus that we imagine in our heads. But that's in our heads. Because whether we like it or not, or have ever thought about it or not, Jesus gets angry in the Bible, and more than the one time set out in the reading. This story is not an aberration. There are a number of instances of Jesus being upset in the gospel and not lacking love. Most famously, Jesus showed anger in a temple protest about the lack of seeking justice and loving kindness by Rome's appointed temple. Jesus gets upset at his followers when they nod off in the garden, not tending to his need for their support as an arrest and execution loom. Jesus gets upset too when Peter will not listen to Jesus' description of the suffering he will endure, and Jesus angrily rebukes him, even calling him Satan. And actually, earlier when the devil tempts Jesus in the desert, Jesus got angry, and he is angry later at the devil's spirit in making people ill. Jesus gets angry at religious people who put strict application of rules about helping those in need. In fact, all of Matthew 23, all of them, depicts Jesus mad at religious hypocrites, saying woe to them and calling them things like blind guides and snakes and viper broods for putting their self-righteousness of fundamentalism of scriptural compliance over real righteousness and justice for all. You see, the optional part of the lectionary text is not out of line with the hidden in plain sight history of Jesus sometimes getting angry and disliking people, like all humans do at one time or another. Jesus was fully human. Unlike most humans, though, Jesus does not let it affect his love or action of love for others. He never, ever stops loving anyone. That's what we're supposed to listen to in the story. And I don't want to leave the impression that Jesus was angry and disliked people most of the time. Well, he may have been mad at our lesson, and at other times he only seemed to get angry when people are not loving either God, others, or self. Jesus gets upset when people do not do what is needed for the mutual, healthy existence of others. In the story today, a boy is suffering because unconditional faith and love was not provided in a healing fashion. And if we listen, we can hear Jesus' anger and dislike, and that it did not stop his love and healing care. This is a story, when listened to, teaches that unconditional love can be provided when we are angry and dislike people. That is, after all, a major stumbling block to our loving like Jesus. Humans withhold love when we are angry, when we dislike someone. The lesson today is we should, and we must love even those who upset us, those who we do not like. And we must love them in the moment of our anger and dislike as Jesus does. And the Bible, of course, has many more instances of Jesus' gentle, loving conduct and moments of Jesus' anger and dislike. And it's most interesting to me that Jesus does not seem to ever get angry or express dislike during the meals that he hosts at his table. Jesus leaves his anger and his dislike behind. His table is a sanctuary. The meal and the gathered are holy. Think about the story of the Last Supper that Jesus had with his followers. Jesus knew Judas had betrayed him, yet Judas was invited to that meal. Even when Judas' betrayal was revealed during the meal, it was done without a display of anger by Jesus or his followers. And Judas was still fed. Judas was not even asked to leave the table by anyone there. At Jesus' table, all were and all are invited and welcome. There were and there are no bars. Everyone can be there and partake, be nourished and loved. Jesus hosts this table. And actually, all meals in this church, all are invited to communion. To our meal is no requirement whatsoever. Jesus' meal word, and ought to continue to be safe and holy places where anger and dislikes are set aside. A setting where sinners, rich, poor, elite, even the betrayer of Jesus can wholly participate in peace. Peace that sets aside at the table any and all sin and any and all negative responses to sin. We are all seen as holy at Jesus' table. Jesus' meals are meant to be a sanctuary. And that was part of Jesus' remarkable meal ministry throughout his earthly mission. His meals included everyone, and dislikes were set aside, and anger was not showed to even someone like Judas. The holy meals here in this worship service, the other meals we share in this church, try to replicate that. Those we are angry at, those we dislike, those God might be displeased with, get to participate undisturbed by whatever unholiness, real or imagined, they or we might have hanging about us. At meals with Jesus, everyone at the table and the meal itself is considered holy. And while unrepentant wrongs are not excused, neither are unrepentant wrongdoers. And even away from where anger and dislike are allowed, violence and hate are never allowed. Love for God, love for self, and love for others must prevail in all that we do. And in that way, one day the experience of holiness for everyone at Jesus' meals will become experience everywhere for everyone. And that is the good news.